Peace and blessings, friends and family. This is Elle Parker checking in with you all. Just checking in to say a quick hello, what's up, and share some information with you. So, I've been sharing a little bit that I am currently on another fast. I have been up to this point, today is day 7 of my water fast. And actually, just today, I incorporated some juice. So, right now, actually, I have some fresh, cold pressed tangerine juice, which is tasting lovely and really excited about it. And but I'm still feeling really good. I didn't intend to go this long. I actually intended to go 3 days. But when I reached the third day, I felt like I could do more, and I actually felt like my body wanted me to do more. So I say spirit is very much leading this fast because there's just these past couple days, I've been like saying and like thinking about breaking my fast. And every time I do, something comes up to where I'm not able to. So I haven't broken fast yet. So this is the closest I've come with this tangerine juice. But other than that, it's just been water and fresh coconut water. So I wanted to share with you some information about fasting because I know a lot of people have a lot of different opinions and thoughts and things like that about what I'm doing. And I came across this book that I have been reading. I think I've shown before, which is called Conscious Eating, and decided to pick up the book. And again, the way spirit works, the first thing I noticed was that there was an entire chapter on fasting. So I wanted to take this time to share that with you all who may be considering fasting or have questions. This is just one book, one piece of information, but I hope you find it helpful. Fasting feeds the spirit. Spiritual fasting is conducive to rest and rejuvenation on every level of mind, body, and spirit. It allows our physical bodies to turn to the assimilation of divine or cosmic energy rather than biochemical energy. In the Essene Gospel of Peace, Jesus talks about fasting 1 day a week and makes this point quite beautifully. On the seventh day, eat not any earthly food, but live only on the words of God, and be all the day with the angels of the Lord in the kingdom of the Heavenly Father. Let the angels of God build the kingdom of the heavens in your body, and let not food trouble the work of the angels in your body. Because fasting accelerates purification of the body, it enhances the movement of all levels of energy in the body, including the spiritualizing energy. Through repeated fasting, one becomes a clearer receptacle for the assimilation of God's energy into the system. One spiritualizing effect of the fast is that the more we are in touch with the divine energy, the easier it is for us to be motivated to live in a way that will continue to enhance spiritual development. According to respected teacher, oh my gosh, I have a hard time saying his name, Paramahansa Yogananda, fasting is one of the great ways of approaching God. It releases the life force from enslavement to food, showing you that it is God who really sustains the life in your body. When one fasts for spiritual purposes, one goes beyond simply stopping food intake and resting from worldly responsibilities. Ideally, one withdraws from everything that is toxic to the mind, body, and spirit. After the first few days of a fast, the appetite usually fades and one's attachment to food diminishes. In this larger biospiritual context, the mind becomes free to merge into higher states of God communion. Fasting is supportive to anyone's spiritual life because until one reaches a certain level of spiritual development, the desires of the body mind complex are often stronger than the desire for God communion. Because of these and other beneficial effects of spiritual fasting, many of the great spiritual teachers fasted, including Moses, Jesus, Elijah, Plato, Aristotle, Pythagoras, Hippocrates, Zarathustra, Confucius, Leonardo da Vinci, Gandhi, and the Essenes. Some were known for doing yearly 40-day fasts. The 40-day fast was also practiced by Plato, Aristotle, and Pythagoras. Pythagoras actually required his disciples to fast for 40 days before he would initiate them into the mysteries of his teachings. He felt that only through the power of a 40-day fast could the minds of his disciples be sufficiently purified to understand the profound teachings of the mysteries of life. In more recent history, Mahatma Gandhi told people to fast and purify their bodies, and regardless of their circumstances, they would find peace and joy on earth. Gandhi is quoted as saying, "Fasting will bring spiritual rebirth. The light of the world will illuminate you when you fast and purify yourself." Jesus also advocated fasting for physical, mental, and spiritual transformation. In the Essenes Gospel of Peace, Book 1, he teaches, "The word and power of God will not enter into you, because all manner of abominations have their dwelling in your body and your spirit. For the body is the temple of the Spirit, and the Spirit is the temple of God. Purify therefore the temple, that the Lord of the temple may dwell therein, and occupy a place that is worthy of him. Renew yourselves and fast, for I tell you truly that Satan and his plagues may only be cast out by fasting and prayer. Go by yourself and fast alone. The living God shall see it, and great will be your reward. And fast till Beelzebub and all his evil spirits depart from you, and all the angels of our earthly mother come and serve you, harmony with nature. For I tell you truly, except you fast, you shall never be free from the power of Satan and all the diseases that come from Satan. Fast and pray fervently, seeking the power of the living God for your healing." Effect of fasting on the vital force. Fasting has a powerful effect on the body as well as the spirit. It allows the vital force within to rebuild and recharge. Overall mind-body organization is increased with fasting. It is this curative force which throws off the accumulation of toxins, clears the dead cells, and rebalances and rejuvenates the body. Hippocrates said, "Everyone has a doctor in him. We just need to help him in his work." According to the American health teacher and author of The Miracle of Fasting, Paul Bragg, who is a great tower of natural healthy living in the world, the greatest discovery by modern man is the power to rejuvenate himself physically, mentally, and spiritually with rational fasting. Most people can receive benefit from fasting. The exceptions are those people more than 10 pounds underweight, those with severe wasting diseases such as neurological degenerative diseases and certain cancers, and pregnant and lactating women. Let me repeat: the people who maybe should not fast or definitely want to think twice or get some additional support before fasting. The exceptions for fasting are those people more than 10 pounds underweight, those with severe wasting diseases such as neurological degenerative diseases and certain cancers, and pregnant and lactating women. Diabetics should have medical supervision. I generally do not recommend that people with severe hypoglycemia fast until their hypoglycemia has been stabilized, but even hypoglycemics can fast under supervision. Prolonged fasting has completely healed some people with hypoglycemia. Fasting has been known to alleviate many diseases. It has withstood the test of time for more than 5,000 years as the one sure and healthy way to lose weight. My experience with weight loss is that periodic fasting is extremely effective over time when alternated with a progressively lighter raw food diet or simply fruits and vegetables. Raw food is excellent in helping people lose weight because it gives more utilizable nutrients with less volume or food intake. The high enzyme content of the raw food helps with assimilation, and there is no detrimental heated fats. A single fast is not nearly as effective as repeated fasts because the latter helps the person adjust to a progressively lighter food intake after the fast, as well as helps in becoming accustomed to a new set point in health. The periodicity over time allows the person to gently reprogram the body and mind to a new relationship and experience with food. The need for supervision is greater when there is a larger toxic load. A person on a typical American diet will have more to detoxify than someone who has been on a raw food, vegetarian diet. Fasting is an excellent method of helping people overcome addictions to food, cigarettes, and other drugs. Fasting helps because what is sometimes metaphorically called cell memory craving for the addictive substance is erased when toxins are removed. It usually takes 5 to 7 days to eliminate these strong cell memory cravings. The elimination of these toxins from the body during the fast make it increasingly easier for people to overcome their addiction to a poisonous substance. After the fast, it seems to be easier for them to eat foods that are closer to their original biophysiological needs, namely fruits, vegetables, sprouts, seeds, and grains, etc. With the toxic cell memory diminished or removed by the fasting process, one is able to get in touch with real dietary needs. The end of a fast provides a special opportunity to reorganize one's habits around a higher quality diet. Fasting helps erase past del- deleterious habits and serves as an opportunity to begin a dietary program and lifestyle that is more conducive to optimal health. As Paracelsus, the great medieval physician, once said, fasting is the greatest remedy. Fasting is safe. With all of its good points, one wonders why fasting has not caught on here to the extent that it has in many countries in Europe. In America, there seems to be an irrational fear centered on fasting. Perhaps this fear is associated with the overabundance of food in our society. In the United States, there are more people suffering from diseases of overeating than from malnutrition. It is estimated that in the U.S., more than 80 million people are overweight. The U.S. Congressional Joint Nutrition Monitoring Committee reported that 28% of Americans, about 32 million, between the ages of 25 and 74, were considered overweight. This includes 11.7 million who are considered severely overweight, which means more than 20% overweight. Many people have created a variety of ego defenses against experiencing the feelings through their addiction to food. For many, the mere mention of fasting becomes a threat. We have become a nation dependent on and addicted to excess. Even the natural cycle of seasonal scarcity seems threatening to us and unnatural. But the fact is, one can live healthily a long time on juices or even on water. The great fasting experts, such as Areola and the fasting clinics in Europe, point out that we can go 40 days on water and 100 days on juices without danger. At the major European clinics where hundreds of thousands have fasted, 14 to 21 days are considered therapeutic and 7 to 10 days completely safe for almost anyone. The fasting process actually begins after 2 or 3 days when the body goes into autolysis. Autolysis is when the process of the body digesting its own cells. In the body's wisdom, it selectively decomposes those cells and tissues which are in excess, diseased, damaged, aged, or dead. World-renowned fasting expert Dr. Bunchinger, with whom I personally studied in Germany, describes fasting as the burning of rubbish. The appropriate time for a fast to stop is when the autolysis process is completed and true hunger returns. Because autolysis is the key mechanism that produces the beneficial effects already mentioned, I define fasting as any process in which the body is encouraged to begin the process of autolysis. This usually also occurs on a juice fast. Juice and water fasting. Juice fasting is a form of fasting in which living food juice supplies enzymes that further aid the cleansing process. Although there is some debate about whether juice or water fasting is better, I prefer the overall effect of the juice fast because there tends to be fewer healing crises. Since juices are high in mineral, vitamin, and enzymes, which help the rejuvenating process of the body, the juices are assimilated directly into the body without stimulating digestive enzymes. The alkalinizing properties of the juice help to neutralize the acid condition from which many people suffer, as well as the toxins being released by the body. The alkaline component of the juices helps to reestablish the alkaline reserve needed for rebuilding health in the body. Also, most people have more energy for meditation on juice than on water. The famous Max Bircher-Benner, MD, whose raw food clinic is the oldest in Europe, felt that raw juices contain an unidentified factor which stimulates the function of the cells to absorb nutrients and excrete toxins. Pavel Areola, PhD, one of the top fasting experts in America and one of my teachers, greatly prefers juice fasts for many of the above mentioned reasons. The Bunchinger Clinic in Germany has supervised over 250,000 fasts, more than any other clinic in the world. Dr. Bunchinger feels strongly that juice fasts are the safest and give the best recovery. Fasting as a form of youthing. During a fast, digestive enzymes are relieved from their digestive role and mobilized for the cleansing and rejuvenation of the body. This happens on both water and juice fast. As mentioned, on the physiological level, fasting works by rapidly removing dead and dying cells and toxins. But fasting also stimulates the building of new cells. Aging occurs when we have more cells die than are being built. Youthing happens when more new cells are produced than are dying. After fasting, the experience of youthing abounds. Senses get sharper, food tastes better, there is more energy, meditation is easier, and the communion with the divine is enhanced. Paul Bragg describes it in several ways. Fasting clears away the little things which clutter the heart and mind. It cuts through the corrosion, renewing our contact with God. When you fast, you are working with nature. God and nature will not perform a miracle until we are willing to bring our lives, our habits into conformity with nature's laws. Athenaeus, a Greek physician, once said, "Fasting cures diseases, dries up bodily humors, puts demons to flight, gets rid of impure thoughts, makes the mind clear, the heart pure, and the body sanctified, and raises man to the throne of God." Rumi, the renowned Sufi poet and mystic, wrote a beautiful poem about fasting in a book called Open Secret, which expresses it all. There's hidden sweetness in the stomach's emptiness. We are lutes no more, no less. There's hidden sweetness in the stomach's emptiness. We are lutes, no more, no less. If the sound box is stuffed full of anything, no music. If the brain and belly are burning clean with fasting, every moment a new song comes out of the fire. The fog clears and new energy makes you run up the steps in front of you. Be emptier and cry like reed instruments cry. Emptier, write secrets with the reed pen. When you are full of food and drink, Satan sits where your spirit should. An ugly metal statue instead of the Kaaba, a Muslim holy rock. When you fast, good habits gather like friends who want to help. Fasting is Solomon's ring. Don't give it to some illusion and lose your power. But even if you have lost all will and control, they come back when you fast, like soldiers appearing out of the ground, pennants flying above them. A table descends to your tents, Jesus' table. Expect to see it when you fast. This table spread with other food, better than the broth of cabbages. These words of wisdom by Paul Bragg, Athenaeus, and Rumi are clear articulations of my experiences personally and leading spiritual fasting retreats and medically supervised fasts since 1988 in various locations around the world and now at the Tree of Life Rejuvenation Center. Without a doubt, I have observed that our spiritual fasting retreats are the single most powerful, transformative body, mind, spirit experiences that I have ever witnessed to support us living the sacred and joyful truth of who we really are. Spiritual fasting is a mystical sacrifice of body and mind that opens the heart to God. So, that is the chapter on fasting from the book Conscious Eating, written by Dr. Gabriel Cousens. So there's a lot of great information in this book. I would definitely encourage anyone who's looking to get their diet under control to order this book. It's as you can see, it's pretty large, but you can spend your time, give your time and energy to digesting the information contained within. So I will check in with you all again later. Like I said, today's day 7 for me. So as I'm coming through, I'll talk more about my experience with fasting presently and over the years, the benefits I've seen, and some of the effects. Most of what was stated in this book has also rang true for me. And even now, as I've struggled with some food addictions and cravings and just poor eating habits, and decided to embark on this water fast, which is, I think for me, I think it's the first time I've ever attempted a straight water fast, which was a little scary for me. So that's why I had chosen 3 days. I said I would do it for 3 days. And I chose those 3 days because I didn't have to work and I had no other responsibilities. And I was a little afraid that I really wouldn't be able to do much of anything. And here we are on day 7, and that simply hasn't been the case. So I'm surprised myself. I'm very excited. It really is bringing clearer into the light for me the strength and power of the human spirit, which we may never know unless we test ourselves and discover, that strength and that power. So I'm available for questions and anything you'd like to share. I can, you can reach me on my social channels or just reach out to me. If you're watching this video, then you know how to contact me. Again, this is Elle Parker. I actually have some clients I'm going to go work with. So thank you for taking this time to share this moment with me. And I look forward to talking with you again soon. Have a wonderful day. Wishing you all the peace, blessings, and joy life has in store for you. Be well.